What's up, guys? It's Jason from Terror Trader, and I'm here in the Oddities Tomb to give you a little bit of a story, a little bit of history on our latest haunted item that I just picked up last month. It is the Whispering Ivory, right? Just this toy piano behind me. An insane story, crazy story behind this, and it possibly could be our most haunted item that we have here at Terror Trader. So, the jury's still out on that, and I'll explain that in a minute, but I want to give you a quick history on this thing, get it back in glass, because it gives me the creeps, okay? So, the Whispering Ivory, let me give you the history. Back in the 60s, in a place called Hico, Nevada. Hico, Nevada is a small farming community, kind of just in the middle of nowhere in the desert of Nevada. There was just a young child, a 9-year-old, that actually died in a flash flood. Flash floods happen, if you don't know anything about Arizona, we get flash floods and they pop up out of nowhere, and if you're in the vicinity or in a place you're not, shouldn't be, you're gone. It can be very, very dangerous. And unfortunately, back in the early 60s, it took the life of a 9-year-old child. Now, the family was very distraught, obviously, right? They had other siblings and whatnot, but they took all of this young boy's belongings and put it into a shed, work shed. I'm not quite sure what type of shed, but a shed on the property, locked it up. And I get that for the mourning side of things. You don't want to see a daily reminder of the child's toys, and especially his favorite toy, which was the piano, this toy piano. Seeing that every day could be a little bit rough. So they've locked it into this woodshed, and the sister, his older sister, kept telling the mom and the parents that every time she would go by the shed, she would hear a single note being played and it coming out of that woodshed. Now, did that happen? I don't know. This is all what I was told and everything. So the mother, being obviously curious, and and also coming from a very religious family, they're like, we're not really into this paranormal thing. So she would go by. Well, she heard the same thing from the woodshed, and she claims that she heard faint whispering of a child's voice, right? So blocked up the shed, didn't touch it. Decades later, the family farm changed hands, right? I don't know who got it. I believe it was another family member, not from the immediate family. That family moved away. Cousin, maybe, aunt, not quite sure. Anyway, they took over the farm in the mid to late 80s, got rid of everything, opened up there, didn't know anything about the Whispering Ivory, as they've deemed this. And basically took it out, threw it in storage, and it eventually ended up in an antique shop in eastern Nevada, like right on the border of Utah. I have a picker in Nevada. I have a guy that gives me tips when he hears, hey, someone's got a haunted item, someone's got something creepy, so on and so forth. And he said, hey, if you can get up here and you get out to, I'm not going to say the town for some reason. I mean, I will later, but I told the place I got it from, don't mention them, so I won't mention them. So anyway, I was like, absolutely, you have a you have a haunted item. I need to see it. We had a little bit of a 3-day vacation here at Terror Trader. I jumped on a plane. I rented a car from out of Las Vegas, and I headed east, or kind of northeast. If you haven't drove in that world out there in that just desert Nevada, it's already creepy, right? We all know, everybody hears about Area 51s and all these other type of, Nevada type of stuff, right? But it is very creepy out there, and so driving there, and it was a very gloomy day, matter of fact. So I ended up getting to this little town, to this antique shop, and it's run by a very nice husband-wife combo. They're very cool, they're really nice. It is not a shop that you will find haunted items. You're finding grandma's dishes, crochet items and stuff like that. So after about 10 to 15 minutes in there, I'm like, hey, this is nice, but I'm here for the haunted item that you have. So they're like, okay, follow us. So we go in the back, and we go toward, not to the very back, but in the back of the store, and what do they call it? It's like a China hutch. Open the China hutch. Up on top is the Whispering Ivory, this child piano. And I believe this child piano, the history of this is probably 1930s-ish. If someone out there can actually probably put in the comments what do you think, where this came from. I believe it's American. I'm not quite sure, but I know it's in the 30s, 40s time frame. So this thing's been around forever. But it was up there, and as soon as they opened that door, and once again, I'm not a sensitive, I'm not really, but man, the hair stood on my arm, right? And then they told me this story that I was telling you about the family, lost his child and whatnot. Give me the whole history on this, and I'm like, okay, cool. How have you felt anything? Have you guys heard anything? And this was the creepy part. These two people they don't care about ghosts. They don't care about the paranormal, but they were very, very adamant. When you have thunderstorms in the area or violent storms, you can hear, they swear they can hear a single note played. And then the possible little whispers. That's what the mother heard coming out of the woodshed. That creeped me out. That freaked me out. I was like, I want this. I need this. I need to get this investigated. So I acquired it from them, and that little 2.5 hour drive back to Las Vegas was, it was eerie. I don't want to say like Final Destination eerie, like I'm feeling like something's coming. There is somebody or something traveling with me till I got to the airport. I hand carried this on the plane. It sat in my lap. I was like, I'm going everything with this thing. I don't want it to get damaged or whatnot. But I had this, not a sickening feeling, but like it just felt different. So since it's been in the store now since this video, since I put it up about a month, not that long. People have come in and said there is a different vibe inside the Oddities Tomb. Those who've been in the Oddities Tomb know this place has already has a vibe and whatnot, but this has put a different vibe where some people don't like it and they've walked out. So I am going to get this investigated here in the next couple of weeks and see, and I'm going to actually from 2 different paranormal investigators and see what they can come up with. I am not a paranormal investigator. I just sit in the back and watch and see what they do. So, but to me, like I said, someone who's not sensitive, this thing gives me the creeps. It feels like something is attached to this. And I guess we'll find out. We don't really get thunderstorms here in Arizona until like the summer. So I'm hoping and not hoping, I guess that's the way I'm trying to, that when we do get those haboobs come through here, right, and those are our big storms, and it gets some vicious thunderstorms, maybe we'll hear something. Maybe we'll hear the note. Maybe we'll hear the whispers. And I invite anybody to come in to the store and, do your own investigation. Check this thing out. It is behind glass. It is in my skull case and whatnot. So you won't be able to touch it. And that's just out of precautions, obviously, and everything. But I'd love to know if you guys hear anything coming from the Whispering Ivory.